Hello, this is Andrew from Solar Forever in Perth, Western Australia. This video is on a subject that people are forever asking us about, which is to do with backup power from solar inverters. So in this case, I'm going to be demonstrating using a Huawei L1, a 5 kilowatt hybrid inverter. The grey box to the right there is the backup box, basically a box of contactors and relays. And then down here is the smallest version of the Huawei battery. It's just a 5 kilowatt hour version. So the principle of backup is pretty straightforward. When the grid goes down, then the signal is sent from the inverter to that backup box to say we now need you to supply power down the essential load circuit, which, if I use my finger here, these two are basically the AC coming in from the inverter and then going out from the inverter to the grid, and this cable here is going to the circuits that the electrician has designed inside the switchboard that are the essential loads, so lights and some outlets. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the porch light at the end here. That little light up in the ceiling area there, that is currently on. So when I go to the switchboard and turn off the main switch, actually I'll put the light on that light up there. I'm turning off the main switch now. Off it goes. The backup circuit kicked in about a second later and that light came back on again. So there is the main switch, very clearly in the off position, but the essential loads, these circuits here where it's essential power, lights and outlets, those are being supported at the moment from the battery. But there is a slightly interesting extra piece of information in that, and I will demonstrate this in a moment. If I were to turn that battery off, completely disconnect it, then the essential load circuits would be powered entirely by the solar panels. So in fact, if you wanted to, and you wanted backup during the day, you could actually just buy the Huawei inverter and the backup box and not buy a battery, and your circuits would be powered by whatever the sun could produce. So long as you are completely aware that if clouds pass over and the solar panels are shaded by clouds and their output reduces to a point where the loads in the house are greater than what the sun can produce at that moment, then it'll trip the circuit breaker. So I'm just going to disconnect the battery and come back to you in a moment. Okay, so the battery is now completely off. All the lights have gone out. I've turned the battery isolators off and I've pulled out the data cord, so the battery is definitely not working. The inverter is showing that it's in backup mode. The AC and DC lights are off, or rather showing red, so that means it's in backup mode. I can confirm that the AC switch is still off, and yet the light in the porch is on. So that is backup being provided entirely from the panels on the roof with no battery. Hope that helps.